How are you?
Oh, I'm great. You know, it's the day after Christmas, and ooh, I am feeling great.
That is why she's an actress. I don't know why I even say that because indeed it is the day after Christmas, and yeah, this isn't a pre-tape.
This is not a
Look,
pre-tape.
people, we are not made of money, all right? You only get paid when you do these bad boys, but don't worry, we're not going to skimp.
How was your Christmas? What'd you do?
I opened things of a present variety.
Nice. Wow. Did you
yes.
get anything good?
Kind of want a gun right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're a little tie-tie today? Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up at 3 and didn't get back to bed.
Holidays will do that to you.
Keep going with this, huh?
Amazing.
I love watching these guys work, but if you can switch it to so I can see my beautiful face, which I normally don't like, but also this way I get if there's a surprise thing that you want to show us, I'll actually be surprised.
Also, they just keep looking at
Well
porn.
done on the animals, the sports, by the way. That was a nice way to start almost the new year.
Yes, almost the new year. And hey, speaking of New Year's,
Oh boy.
should we just get right into it?
Well, okay.
A lot of people have a New Year's resolution to go to the gym or to lose some weight, to get on a bit of a healthier track.
I'd like that.
Well, now listen, just because you're on a healthier track doesn't mean you need to give up drugs.
Yay!
That's right. Apparently, the new trend is smoking some pot and then doing a workout.
Oh yeah, that's not a new trend.
Well, now people are just more vocal about it. It seems that before people were, doing it but not really talking about it. There weren't actually like workout classes around smoking a joint and then doing a workout, which now appears to be happening. So there is a fitness company called Stoned and Toned. This woman, Morgan English, who started it, was one day sitting on the fire escape of her Portland State University apartment, smoking weed, and then she felt a pull toward a stationary bike. So she walked across the street to the gym, and she said for the first time, exercise didn't feel like a punishment. She smoked, she was feeling good, and wanted her body to feel good, so she went to the bike. So then she started doing it, going to like a bike class, like, a Peloton class. And she kind of asked the other people around her if, they ever smoke and ride, and a bunch of them had.
He doesn't get paranoid then.
I guess so. So she has now started this company. I think it's only virtual classes, though, right now, which to me is lame. It's lame because,
Well,
you're just
yeah.
at home. But she does say...
all of her clients are not doing jack shit. They're just sitting there watching her.
Well, yeah, and she said it's a no judgment thing. If you just want to sit on your yoga mat and not do anything for the hour, that's fine. You want to get up, go get a slice of pizza, that's fine too. And I think it's fine because you paid at the beginning of class, and so she already
she
has
don't
her
give a
money.
shit. Yeah.
Whatever.
She's supposed to buy more weed.
But it turns out that there's there's groups. There's a Pella Stoned Facebook group that has thousands of members.
What is it about stoners that they're obsessed with horrific puns?
I think that's part of
it's
the
part
fun.
Of every strain is, yeah.
I love puns, which makes me feel like I should become a stoner.
You look like a stoner, and you often act like one.
All right, so now, of course, where's the research, the science side of this? Well, turns out there were studies done. I don't know, research hasn't shown an improvement in performance when stoned, but cannabis users have reported more pleasure, maybe even a runner's high, after blending cardio and cannabis.
I can see it.
Obviously, really good for recovery. A lot of marathon runners, long distance training, they recover with cannabis. But the lazy stoner sort of, what's the word?
Eschews it.
Label.
Poos it.
Lazy stoner label. Not really a thing. There's no significant impact on exercise when stoned.
Good one way or the other. I mean, in the 70s, every fucking NBA player was stoned out of their gills and playing, 40 minutes.
So
Running a
My
marathon.
only concern, right? So it's good for pain management, but my concern would be that I would hurt myself
Oh,
while
valid.
stoned and not realize it.
Valid.
So some people say like it helps with getting rid of those. You have no inhibitions, right? So you're like, oh, maybe I might not want to try X, Y, or Z, but if I smoke a joint first, I'll try it. And one of the examples in this article was like weightlifting. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the best idea because,
More
again,
weight.
if something pops and you don't
Feel
feel
it.
it,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I do think we need to go to our personal experts who I'm sure have done a ton of research.
Bad on me for not doing our court graphic. If
right.
it's not on the ready, don't worry about it. We're already forced you guys to do
I
two
don't know
shows
if it's
today.
really like a judgment. Oh, I guess it is a judgment.
I mean, because I want to hear. I have a feeling that neither of our two stoners over here have done full-on workouts in a gym. Whoever would like to go first, Bobby. I bet you've run stone before, yeah?
Yeah, it's the only way I will run.
Okay. Okay.
it-
So we have a co-official.
Yeah, but do you do it for the joy of moving your body?
No, I do it so I don't die.
Great.
But like the first mile, I don't know if it's for you guys, but that's what it usually takes me to get warm before feeling like running feels good. And if you're high enough,
Right.
that first mile and a half, you kind of get through before the high wears off.
Nice.
That said, lifting weights stone sounds terrible.
Right?
Just really dangerous. Yeah.
Like I run to relax, so I get like getting high and getting the stress out that way. But like you lift to get your anger out. Like you're supposed to be angry,
Yeah.
and I feel like it would be a clashing ideologies there.
Without a doubt. How about you, Steve?
Yeah, this is insane to me. Fuck that. No way.
Just
I've
the
actually
drive.
tried it too. Like I've tried because I had a friend who said this is a good idea.
Yeah, I've got a couple.
And he was like, and he said lifting weights. He was like, if you smoke and then lift some weights, like you just like you're in the zone. It's great. I smoked and tried to run once. I literally like took about 5 steps and laughed. I was like, that's not happening. Fuck this. And then I tried it with the lifting weights thing and the same thing. Like as soon as I started, I was like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
My body was absolutely refusing to cooperate. I felt lazier and like I'm just like high. I'm like, I don't want to do a bunch of physical shit. The best thing physically you can do after getting high is having sex. Like that feels good. It's like everything feels great. You last longer. It's like more fun. But anything else physically, when you're stoned, it blows my mind that people want to do like, hard tasks when they're stoned.
Well,
All I want to do is
yeah.
relax.
Well, and speaking to hard task, right? There's like a mental, like an inner monologue that happens when you're working out, when it gets hard. And it's like, come on, you can do this. Or, I mean, I don't know how other people's minds work. Like, you little shit, like, come on, don't be a lazy fucker, like, do it. But yeah, your mind probably isn't thinking those things when you're
opposite
high.
happens.
Yeah.
Every one of these you do. Your brain's just going, I could be playing video games. I could be watching a movie. I could be eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. Like, I have the complete opposite reaction.
The
when
older
I have
you
weed.
get, the more weed just really makes you tired. And
Yeah.
I woke up at 3 this morning, and I could not get back to bed. So I decided to run. And I normally, if you're running no matter what, no matter how little sleep you've gotten, your heart rate's up, so you're awake.
Yeah.
But at about halfway through, and I ran a good amount, I just all of a sudden started to hit me, and I could barely move. I was so exhausted. And I know if I were stoned, I would have just taken a little nap.
Oh, yeah, you would have been like, let me just sit down.
Yeah.
And then hours later,
yeah.
a cop's waking you up.
And that's the other thing. When you're stoned, time, like, if you're aware of time, every minute feels like an hour.
Yeah.
So when you're working out, every set of something you do, it feels like it took all fucking day just to do like 10 push-ups.
Yeah.
Like time and your brain works against you in that. Like that pumping yourself up and get through it, complete opposite. You're thinking too much about what you're doing and you want to fucking stop.
Yeah, you got to distract yourself. You got to do Bill's favorite hobby, combine getting high with a podcast. Then you're in the world of fantasy. You're suddenly 2 miles in. You're not even thinking about it. Like you're getting rid of that. Because your
Sure.
brain kicks in and tells you you're done way before you're actually done.
Yeah.
So, like, if you get rid of that part, like, for me, it's getting over that part where it's like, fuck it, just go play video games.
Yeah.
So, another big part was driving somewhere to run. So, if I already put the effort in to leave the house and be somewhere, then I'm not going to
Interesting.
give up once I'm stoned. But if I'm just, like, leaving the house, it's like, oh, yeah, we'll do one lap and 2K it up.
Okay, that interests me. You're a different runner than me because I've toyed with the idea of taking the subway to the cloisters and then running back from there. But I know that by the time I got there, I would not want to run anymore. You know, and if you're out there and you just start up like that, then you got no choice and all that shit.
Or you could do what I do, and you run to an area where you're like, should I really walk here? Probably not. I'm gonna make sure I have to keep running.
Oh,
That's
I see.
probably
Oh,
not
that's
safe.
good. That's not good at all, but I see what you're saying. Absolutely.
No, it's
yes.
like at the point where you'd be like, I don't feel like running anymore, but it's like, maybe it's safer if I keep running.
I know exactly what you're saying. And when the city was the video of Thriller in the middle of the pandemic, and
Yeah.
the only people out there were, just crazy guys I'd run in the middle of the night, I've never run faster in my entire life.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
for that reason.
Yeah.
Oh, the adrenaline is a much better drug than weed for running, I think. I don't. I know a very famous right-wing blonde pundit, and I know. Here's the thing: I worked at Fox News for 7 years, so that could be anyone.
It could be.
She likes to work out drunk. That
No.
I truly do not.
Oh, wow. We're getting nods in the booth.
Okay, educate this to me.
100% better than high. Yeah.
Really?
I've
But
done
there's
it.
that sloshy, incoordinated thing that I don't normally have when I'm stoned. I'm just
All
sort
right, you
of.
can't be like hammered, wasted out of your mind. But if you're
Right.
just
Your motor skills can't be impaired.
yeah.
Well, that's a fine line.
But if you're like just regular drunk, you will pump out a whole lot. Like especially weightlifting, you'll be able to do a ton more, and like you won't feel it really.
But you don't. I'm just weak. I just
And
feel like
that
I'm
competitiveness comes out. Like the number of times I've almost died in a buddy's basement because I've been like, I could put 300 pounds up.
Oh my gosh, that's so dangerous.
You say that about a lot of drunken dares. They always seem to end in almost died. So are you yet pro or con, despite the fact that it almost killed you?
Have some spotters, and you're gonna be okay.
Yeah,
what if they're drunk
yeah, well, should the spotters be sober?
Yeah, probably.
Ish.
But most benches are set up so you can't kill yourself.
You gotta have a designated spotter.
See, I feel like I'd be more into this than like Jackass, which I guess it kind of is.
Workouts?
But it's like safer Jackass. It's like there's the one drunk person lifting weights, but then there's two sober people looking out for him.
So you wouldn't worry as much. I think that's very sweet.
Yeah, but I occasionally maybe I'm at home, I've had a glass of wine or something, and then I'm like, yeah, let me get an arm workout in. But it's like 8-pound free weights. I'm not going
Right.
to hurt myself. But
that.
I believe way more in a rewards-based system. Like you've done the workout, now you get the reward, which is the drink or the
Oh my God,
joint or
Guinness
whatever.
tastes so much better after you've actually got a sweat in.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's what like gets you through the workout. You're like, well, if you finish this, then you can this, which I guess explains a lot about me and the way I was brought up in my weird mental issues. But yes, I believe in
That's very Catholic.
needing to earn something,
I'm very much the same way. That's exactly
or
how.
even like earn your shower. Which, I hate
You hate
showering
showering.
anyway. But, like, if you don't get sweaty before a shower, then, like, you don't really need to shower. Like,
Well, that's why I showered today. I finally earned it. Yes. But then that put me to sleep too. The hot water, all that. Ugh.
oh, well, you got to do a cold. Okay.
Yeah, I know I got to,
Have
but
you seen that? I mean, we're about to see, because it's almost the new year.
we're still doing this.
Again, it's almost January 1st. You see a lot of people doing all of these like good lifestyle things. You're going to have your sober friends for a month. Lame. But I forget what
hate
it's
that.
called. It's some system or I don't know. But you're supposed to take like a really cold shower in the morning. And so it's apparently really good for like your blood
Oh, I know.
pressure,
Yeah,
your
I've read that,
heart, like
yeah.
all this stuff. But it sucks. like it already waking up can be really hard. And then to like do that again, it's like, don't you want to like be nice to yourself in the morning? Don't
like
you
the
want to like,
visuals.
wrap yourself in a warm blanket, have a warm cup of coffee? Why are you going to like have icy daggers pelt your body?
The shock it does to the system surprises me that it's good for you, but it is supposed
I know.
to. Yeah. Well, we've got so much stuff here. I almost hesitate to do this because you actually have some really good stories. I, on the other hand, relied a lot on video today. But, I mean, this is an update, but I don't even know when Cocaine Bear comes out. but we were discussing what was real and what wasn't with regards to this trailer of Cocaine Bear. If you didn't see it, as always, fuck you. But I love it when there's this tells me that someone took a shit in here. Whenever
Yeah,
there's
there's
flies. But you watch the trailer for this what will soon to be Oscar winner. You do wonder how much of it is based on a true story because you got the drug runner, the dropping of the coke. Bear takes the coke. Bear goes on a murderous rampage. Not exactly how it happened. Guess who's here to solve it all?
Who?
Our own Jeannie Mose. I mean, if there was ever a story about the real Cocaine Bear, Jeannie.
Wait, did she do it
CNN,
recently?
It was just a couple days ago.
Wow.
I mean, 3
Few
weeks
weeks
ago. It should be. Oh, and we have a new logo for this too. Cocaine Bill.
Yes.
My first surprise logo that I've had in a while. It's rare that you're going to see that kind of joy from
But
me.
also,
people.
you're like, what do you expect?
I'm forced to be happy now. Again,
My
people.
face is stuck like this.
Smells like fun. Let's cue. Basically, my entire career is just a male version of Jeannie Mose. This is the kind of crap I would always cover. But she does it 10 times better, of course, and still live, amazingly
I
enough.
can't wait to hear her say cocaine.
Here is.
Bear.
I kind of nailed most of the specifics because it's been a while since I've heard the legend of CB.
The name
but
of a
let's take
movie
a
is Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear.
A bear did cocaine.
You can expect critics to snort.
Oh my
But
God.
the Bonkers trailer has moviegoers salivating to see the film featuring a bear high on coke embarked on a murderous rampage. Sharknado, but for bears, but on cocaine. And then there's that
From
tease
Few Chains,
inspired
thanks.
by true events. This much at least is true.
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine fell from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee.
That did happen in 1985 when a drug smuggler named Andrew Thornton died in
That's the
someone's
best kind of drug
backyard
smuggler.
when he jumped from a small plane with bricks of cocaine in a duffel bag attached to it.
Cocaine.
It looked like a gentleman jumped out of an airplane with a parachute that was too small for his load.
Before he jumped, he apparently dumped other cocaine-filled bags.
Ugh,
And
you
a
lucky people.
170-pound bear was found dead among the drugs on a Georgia hillside. Officials said he OD'd. The movie shows the bear dining on coke.
No, don't eat that, don't eat that.
The real
Also,
bear
that bear
died
looks
from the drugs,
heavier
and
than
there was
175.
no killing spree. It's believed
well.
the stuffed
There-
bear
there he
eventually
is.
ended up in a place called the Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall, where you can buy cocaine bear earrings.
Earrings?
And even what they call a blow globe does not contain cocaine.
Yeah, you gotta say that.
The poor guy is being compared to Scarface. Some are calling him Pablo Escobar.
Nice.
A
be a stoner.
nickname even a coked-up bear might not take lying down. Ginny Mose, CNN.
Don't ever come down.
New York.
Well, boys, I know you're annoyed by having to do 2 shows today, but I will say this. I am well on our way of getting us a screener for Cocaine Bear. I have got everything but the actual specific media contact for that specific movie at Universal Pictures. And hopefully we'll have some answers by the end of the week. So there you go. We're going to have a little office field trip, and we won't even be paying for it. Because I'm Cocaine Bill.
I really wish that
Santa.
what's her name? Jenny Mose?
Jeannie Mose. Jeannie Mose, I can
Jeannie
never-
Mose. I wish she gave her opinion. She's just reporting, but I thought reporters these days are supposed to give their opinions. So
She's old school.
I want to know what she thinks. I personally hope she is excited to see the movie.
Of course she is. Look, you know she used to party in the 80s. Oh, fuck yeah. That was when she was doing the craziest of animal reports.
The nicest compliment I recently received, and by recently I mean weeks ago, was at the restaurant I work at. I work with a lot of kids in their early 20s.
Now,
And they go out after work, even when we close late. And they're like, Joanne, you never come out. I'm like, I know, I'm consistent. And I'm old. I used to when I was in my 20s. And then we end up talking about drugs or whatever. And they're like, well, yeah, you must have done like lots of cocaine. And I was like, never. They were like, really? You look like we feel like you would have. And,
I've told you that.
and that, I don't know why that feels like a compliment to me, because I am so square that maybe that's why it like makes me feel like I'm a little more dangerous or something.
You have a
But I've
look.
never even tried it.
I've told you this, and of course, whenever I didn't think it was a compliment, so that's probably why you didn't take it as such. But
Yeah.
when I first met you, I think you were dating the Brit, and it was on Tom O'Connor's
Yes.
drinking crawl, and I first met you, and I'm like, oh, that's Joanne Nosajinski, the bitch that took my job.
Yeah.
But I immediately was like, and normally I have like my gaydar, very good radar on this. I was like, she parties. I think it's just you have gigantic eyes,
Yeah.
and they can look a little manic sometimes. And I'm like, that girl gets it done.
No, I think it's just like social anxiety mixed with a desire for a glass of Chablis, and it's just like
Yeah. Oh, I know that now, but at the time, I'm like, yeah, those are not virgin nostrils. That's what I thought.
They are, man.
And you could really look like a femme fatale in Scarface if we were to do some stuff with your hair, make it a little bigger and stuff
Okay.
like that. You've just got that 80s cocaine princess look that I think would work.
so funny that I find it to be such a compliment.
I don't think it is, but
No.
please take it as such.
But
Well, you got a lot of stuff, but I got a lot of video thingies, so it's ladies' choice. I'm sorry, cocaine princess choice.
this is just a quick one, being that it's the end of the year.
Again, just really embracing this.
Do you know what Oxford Dictionary
I know what it is. Yes.
decided as the word of the year for 2022? So this year was different. People got to vote online. So this is the people's choice for word of the year. I have never heard of this word / two words before. Goblin mode.
Never heard of it.
So, goblin mode refers to a type of behavior which is unapologetically self-indulgent, lazy, slovenly, or greedy, typically in a way that rejects social norms or expectations.
So like quiet quitting would be goblin
So
mode.
this entire network is goblin mode?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Is that better than compound media? Perhaps a name change is in order.
Perhaps. So it won online with 93% of the vote.
Wow. I'm so out of it.
More than 340,000 votes were cast. The other two choices for words were metaverse, yeah, fucking gag me, no way, and the hashtag I stand with, which I don't like either.
Yeah.
So I guess goblin mode, wins, but I don't know that I have ever heard anyone use that in a sentence.
Like quiet quitting, would that be goblin mode? I'm trying to think of like new phrases.
No. Quiet quitting is more about like your boundaries, knowing your boundaries.
Okay.
But goblin mode, I think they used it in a sentence. Maybe they didn't. I mean, they should, right? Isn't that the whole point?
About to go goblin mode, Batman. I'm picturing it more as like something a superhero would say. Like, what I'm about to do might not be too kosher with the superhero good guy rules, but I'm about to go goblin mode.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, oh man, I just had a really hard week at work. This week we're off from compound media. I'm going to go goblin mode.
I want to hear you say that legitimately.
Don't try to reach out to me. I'll be in goblin mode. I still don't think I'm using it right.
I don't think you are, but I like it.
Oxford's word of the year for 2021 was vax. Okay.
Ugh.
Chose to skip a word in 2020 because no one word could do it justice. Merriam-Webster's dictionary selected gaslighting as the official word of 2022.
Right.
In 2021, it was a vaccine. I'm not liking these words.
Well, I think it's often like back in the day when Time would do the Man of the Year. It didn't necessarily have to. It wasn't necessarily supposed to be a good guy. Hitler was Man of the Year.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Stalin was Man of the Year. These don't have to be good words. They're just overused.
Why do we always have to have a something of the year? Like, doesn't Pantone do a color?
What part of selling mags are you not getting?
I guess so.
You know?
Yeah, they need to fill those pages.
I think the bag days are over with. But what part of hits are you not getting? There you go. There's a 21st century turnaround right there.
Let me think. Is there a word I've used a bunch this year? I think I've gotten, speaking of our verbal crutches, I think
Oh yeah, why don't we have that?
curious has kind of left my vernacular.
I feel bad. I like your verbal crutches, and I knew the minute that I would comment on them that you would force yourself to stop saying them.
Yes.
Yeah. I certainly
Surely.
you still do.
Sure. I think I do sure a
Sure.
bunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of
You've,
those things
see,
where,
and that makes you less colorful. So it's a loss for all of us.
yeah.
You know, people have verbal crutch is negative, catchphrase positive.
Sure. That's nature. What are some
That's
of
not
my
even
other
really,
ones? Good for her.
Yeah, that's a good one. And y'all, you say y'all a lot
All.
when you're just giving us some sass.
Just want to be a little folksy. I feel like it makes me more relatable.
No, nothing really does. Cocaine princesses are not relatable. Remember that.
Well, speaking of magazines, didn't you have a magazine?
Oh yeah, you know this is a fun thing to flip through. Let's see who did this one. Was it? I mean, I'll take it. Ranker, doing what they do best, ranking shit. Went through. Okay, now for you kids out there, magazines were this print thing. Often with glossy pictures, full of long-form features and reviews and what have you. It was a good time for me because that's the last time I made money. But anyway, those were what magazines are, and they went through some of the most controversial covers of all time. I have a feeling you're going to be angry and disappointed with a lot of these because they're overall not that controversial. Some indeed
For the
are.
time.
Yeah, exactly. We have to put ourselves back at this particular time. These are the 12 most, guys. Rolling Stone, let's do... Okay, I'll do the first one. Okay, now, I remember I was at Red Eye when they did this, and boy, was this fodder for Fox News. Indeed, the Boston bomber, okay, Zakhar Tsarnaev, was on the cover of the famous Rock magazine and was met with extreme criticism. The magazine was slammed from all sides for depicting a terrorist suspect in the same vein as they would a rock
I don't like
star. He was even compared to Jim Morrison. Oh, I used to love him. In a cover from the 1960s. Hard to argue, although oddly enough, Steve's currently masturbating.
Yeah.
So I guess, it worked.
I mean, there's
He just likes Boston Marathon.
There's so many people that have to give the green light to a cover. There's so many meetings about covers and what they're
Oh
printing.
my God, yeah.
So the fact that so many people were in agreement that this was the right choice.
The committee that used to go into the woman's pose on a lad mag,
Yeah.
the headlines from the features, what we would go on, it was unbelievable because half of the sales was the newsstand for
Yeah.
magazines like that, and it would be
I
mind-boggling.
mean, if all of the proceeds went to victims, then maybe I'd be okay with it.
This is not very well reported on this article, apart from the fun images. I bet they did do that after the negative thing,
yeah.
but they don't say one way or the other. Mayor Menino, of course, was the mayor of Boston. Wanted a lot of retailers and succeeded as much in Boston to not sell it. And that was across the country, too. A lot of other retailers wouldn't sell it. So there you are. The next one is Rolling Stone yet again. Get ready for a theme here, people. Passion of Kanye West. Anything. This was in 2006 when he was far less controversial than Ye is today. Him as Jesus Christ pissed off a lot of people, but he's so religious that, I'm assuming all is forgiven from Jesus' end. Although, I hate to tell you, Kanye, Jesus was a Jew.
Not sure if he knows that.
We really are turning into this. By the way, he absolutely does not know that. He said he's never read a book, so I assume that includes the Bible.
Yeah. Unless he's listened to it on tape.
Yeah, you know what? He might have listened to a lot of
Bible on tape really just slaps. It's so good.
Okay, this one was relatively recent, kind of. Are you mom enough? This is from Time Magazine,
Oh,
2012.
God. No.
And this kid.
No, thank
Okay,
you.
there's a lot going on here, but I think your first thought might be, seems a little old to be breastfeeding. I have to say, mom is hot. It would be difficult for me to not watch this, even though I would be upset at how old the child was.
Also-
this is a real 26-year-old mom, and her son was 3 years old.
That is a large 3-year-old.
Well, he's been breastfeeding for quite some time.
You know, I try not to judge, but I do.
Oh, you certainly do.
You want to do this? Okay, do it in the privacy of your own home.
That is so not empowering.
No, it's like, I don't know, pregnant women who order a glass of wine. It's like, do it at home. Don't order it in a restaurant and then make the server uncomfortable.
I told you when I would go back home in the Midwest, it's just called the magical one glass of wine.
Sure.
All my friends would be pregnant at the
That's
same time. They'd
constantly
be at a
full.
party. Yes, it would just go up and down.
Because
All
you're-
their kids have 3 eyes.
No, you're doing this for attention. You're not doing it for your kid. Like you're on a cover. You want the attention. And it's, no thank you.
Most people tell me they think that you weren't breastfed enough.
I wasn't.
Really? That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. I don't think my mother breastfed me or
Explains a
my
lot.
sister. It does.
It absolutely. But your sister is a warm and big heart.
Yeah, but I'm a good heart. Shabam.
Oh, boy. Only by marriage. This next one, good thing Gino's not here. It's all about racism. Time, June 27th, 1994. They would have gotten away with it. What they did, of course, was darken the mugshot of one O.J. Simpson to make him look more menacing. But unfortunately, Newsweek ran the same photo, and people could see the difference. And Time got in a big old mess of trouble for that one. Talk about something that didn't need to be done. I mean, this is already... I believe they both have the same headlines, too.
And it's weird because an American tragedy with sort of like a very like stoic...
He's a good-looking
artistic
man.
picture, handsome man. So it's like, what is the tragedy? Is it the fact that he is on trial? Or is it the fact that, I don't know, his wife was murdered?
The tragedy will be the art director's career who was
Yeah.
working on that magazine. But that one, so that's pretty obvious. Okay, I'm going to say this phrase, and I bet you're going to know what the photo is. Break the internet.
Oh, Kim Kardashian.
Got it.
I hated this
Why
one.
is this one? Oh, okay. So there's the Newsweek one.
Oh, wow.
I was wrong on the title. Yes, and so you can really, I mean, they went overtime on that one,
Yeah.
huh? That's egregious.
It's like when
or just if Gino were
it's like when girls do their makeup and they put on too much like contour.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Spoken like a true cocaine princess. People.
The breaking the internet Kim Kardashian one, I was so offended by
Were you really?
because it was a waste of perfectly good champagne.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to do some time traveling. Oh, my God. I am an asshole for not giving you guys a link that showed her beautiful ass.
Wait, yeah,
without
isn't the other
block.
one with the
Champagne.
It's popping, right? Yeah.
Yes, and the cover she has a champagne bottle, and then it's going behind her back. It's since been they've done comical parodies of it ever since
Of
with different
course,
people. Yes,
of course.
but I don't. So you were just offended by the champagne. Totally valid. I don't understand really what the controversy is overall. Although here they do describe it. The only time they really describe it, of course, because everyone is super fucking offended by everything. One black activist said that it was several hundred years of black female exploitation, and most likely she had no idea. I guess saying that she was somehow the stereotype that African American women have larger butts, and she's appropriating.
Or was there a similar photo shoot with a black woman that she was copying, or?
I don't think that was it. It
No.
was just, I mean, she look, she is as God made her people, and look at what he made. Look at that. What if you were the lube boy on that one? I'm sure he's gay, so it was wasted on him, but it's a lot of lube, first of all, on that little pooper.
Yeah, I can't be comfortable to have a booty that large.
I agree. I think that's difficult to sit on.
And also, she was probably very sore after this photo shoot. To arch your back like that for so long, that's not good.
Tell you what, guys, we're going to put a pin on that, and that's my new verbal crutch. because these poor bastards are indeed doing 2 shows today.
Yeah.
But I have a lot more magazine covers. Why don't we time travel back to early December and bring this back up on another show in the past and do the rest of them? I know.
I'm
mind
not sure
is
if my
blown.
pea brain can understand.
1.21 gigawatts, Marty. Well, boys, A, I apologize. But B, thank you very much, particularly for your wise, working out while stoned advice. Joe, would you like to ruin the show?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Boom. Well, I am already mourning the loss of our Christmas humor. The more you, Joe.
If I were ever to be on a magazine cover, which who knows, by the time this episode airs, maybe I will have gotten wildly famous and be on the cover of one.
You said that this was live.
I think I would like to wear as much clothing as possible. Sort of like Joey in Friends in that episode where he wears all of Chandler's clothes.
Not gonna sell. I'll tell you.